well, I know exactly why it doesn't work properly. It's just, you know, a matter of that it sucks. It doesn't work properly because, for some reason lately, OBS has been doing this cool thing where, even though I have there it is, even though I have exited the program, it still stays open in my processes, so when I open OBS a second time, it's like, oh, I know you're trying to launch OBS, but it's open already, so are you sure you want to launch it again? And sometimes if I hit launch it again, it'll crash at some point. So I don't think my computer likes having two instances of OBS open at the same time. I think it also has to do with if my capture card locks up. This capture card is a piece of junk, even though I paid a lot of money for it, and it locks up all the time. So pretty much every time I get ready to start streaming, I have to plug the capture card in and unplug it like several times until it restarts correctly. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's a really nice, it's an Elgato, it's a really nice capture card. It's just a piece of shit sometimes. So, anyways, hi, how are you guys? That was a really good representation of how my day has been today. So I made this overlay. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's simple. And yeah. So, yeah, how are you guys? Hopefully your days have been less crazy than mine. Alright, let's grab Dire Crow. Dire, I spent a little bit of extra time today working on the colors. I'm much happier with the background on it now. I think the colors are better. Is Dire Crow even here? Maybe not. Well, if Dire Crow's here, this is what it looks like. It looks looking pretty good. But, yeah. Hi. So, Ms. Ma already kind of knows how my day went today because I spent a little time in her stream. But basically my day today was that, we have this animation company that we work with, for, like, any toys that we have that have, like, screens and LCD displays on them and stuff. And they are the most disorganized bunch I have ever met in my life. I cannot find literally anything. Cool, I'm glad you like it. Their folders are so disorganized. So today, I went through their folder, and I made a big list. I made a list of, like, 140 animations. I dug through every single one of their folders. I filtered by date and time. You know, when was it last updated? I found the most recent version of every single file, and I put it on that list. I said, okay, animation number 1, the last time we saw it was today, and we did not give it approval. The last time we saw animation number 2 was today, and we approved it, so it can go in the finished folder. Animation number 3, same thing, it's done. Put it in the animation folder, because they don't put anything in the finished folder, they just leave it. And it took me, like, 3 hours this morning to make this list, and I only did it for that company specifically, because they're a pain in the ass about it. And, and I sent it to my supervisor, and he was like, oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is super helpful, and this will probably help them get organized. Can you do one for the other company? So then I had to do 2. So I spent my whole day making these lists, digging through people's folders, listing out all the shit they should have already done. So then I get out of work, and I have to go to the grocery store because I don't have any lunch meat for lunch tomorrow. So I go to the grocery store. And it doesn't take me that long to get the lunch meat from the deli, but it takes me like 15 minutes to get out of the cash register because everyone and their mother is at the grocery store for some reason. So, okay, that happened. Great. So, I get home. It takes me like a half hour to get home. And, as I'm passing, you know, as I'm getting close to my house, my gas light comes on because, of course, I'm almost out of gas. And I knew my gas was low, so I stopped and I got gas. You know, fine, whatever, it's pretty cheap today, so that's alright. So, then, I'm, like, around the block from my house. I am literally, like, a minute and a half from my house, and my low oil light comes on. So, my car had burned up all of its oil, and I had to drive to a different gas station and buy, like, 3 quarts of oil. I know you don't need that much to go in the car. I put, like, 1.5 quarts in, but I put another quart and I put the leftover stuff in my trunk just in case that ever happens again. But, like, Getting home was a pain in the ass too. So this whole day, you know, like I don't know. So that's what happened today. That was my day today. It was just like one aggravating thing after the other, and so coming in here right now and like everybody shows up right on time, and you're all here ready for me to go, but OBS was not ready for me to go, and that just is sort of how my day has been. So, yeah. So, yes, at least it is not Monday. So, Ms. Ma, funny story. Before I left work, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just make, I'm gonna make chicken Alfredo. And then, after I had to stop and get gas and oil, I was then like, actually, you know what? Double fuck it. I'm going to Sonic. So I went to Sonic. And I got a nice grape slushie and, popcorn chicken and tater tots. And I am happy. So, yes, dinner was at least good. It was not healthy, it was not even remotely good for me, but you know what? I deserved it. I don't know if you guys have Sonic, but I don't know if any of you guys even know what a Sonic is. They're, you know, other than the hedgehog, but oh my god, Sonic is the best. I could just eat Sonic all the time. Which is why I don't, because I know I would never stop eating it. Their slushies are really good. I like the grape ones, and I like the watermelon ones. I've never had their ice cream, though. Mostly because every time I go there, I just want to get a slushie. I don't think these plants are going to stay this color, by the way. That's just the color they are now. So, yeah, I was on full tilt before I started this, and... yeah. Oh, here! Let's stay positive, though. One good thing that happened to me today, obviously other than hanging out with Ms. Ma pretty much all day, was that my cat did not fight me on getting her eardrops when I got home. She just let me do it, and then we went about our business, and there was no squirming or wiggling around. She just was like, alright, do it. So, there you go. I've never had their mozzarella sticks. I bet they're amazing. Also, stop sign. Why did you just have 2 pieces of bread? You didn't even put anything between the 2 pieces of bread? Like you were one filling away from a sandwich. And then you could have had a real dinner. Sort of. So. Guess everybody else is probably having a better day than I am. I don't mind those bushes too much. They're maybe a little dark. You just had 2 slices of plain bread. Hey, you know what though? I laugh, but I have had those days where I want nothing but 2 slices of plain bread. Oh, well, see, there you go. Yeah. Get some mayo in there, it's almost like a real meal. You guys crack me up. You guys. This is a commission. This is for Dire Crow. Dire Crow asked me to draw his 2 characters. The crow's name is Fenwick. I do not remember what the owl's name is. I always forget what his name is. And of course, it is not in the file names for me to cheat and tell you what his name is. But I know now that the crow's name is Fenwick, and he's klutzy. So. And that's how we got to where we are. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna... Why not? Nope, can't put it on the sand there. Never mind. Fuck it. Alright. You get to go top. Beautiful. Oh, I'll show you guys too. I made, today at lunch, I made a bunch of new alerts. So, if anybody donates bits, this pops up. Hey Mage! What's going on? This pops up. If anybody donates money for some reason, this pops up. If anybody hosts me, this pops up. And if anybody raids the channel, this pops up. So there's like all these cute little alerts now. So that's pretty fun. I like this one the best. This one's cute. This music was compiled by DarthHonchkrow, actually. DarthHonchkrow spends their free time building me a huge playlist of game music that is chill. And, yeah, so DarthHonchkrow just has built me this big playlist of music to play during the stream, and I just shuffle it. However, you will probably hear at least one song from The Binding of Isaac, because for some reason the stream shuffle, the playlist shuffle, seems to really like Binding of Isaac. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I think every stream we've had at least one Binding of Isaac song come on. So, you know, if you're into that. DarthHonchkrow's like the official Axie Stack DJ. That's really what it is. I mean, a little bit of an editor, but, you know, the DJ. I actually never figured out what song it flagged either. I never actually took the time to look. And yes, we do talk about world building sometimes in the channel. I've been doing a little bit of that lately. Haven't had a lot of chance to finish all the writing portion of it, though. So I haven't had much to share, because I haven't written much. I have a hard time doing world building stuff, like, off the cuff, unless somebody asks me a really specific question. Like, I'm bad at just sitting here and going, oh yeah, so this thing happens in my world. You know, I actually have a template. I was thinking I might make a channel. I'm afraid of making too many channels in the Axie Stack Discord, honestly, but, like, I was thinking about making a channel for, art resources. Like, if you guys want to share any tutorials or, you know, tips or anything, I thought that might be cool, because I have a like a world building, like a character template, almost, that I could probably share with you guys if you're interested in it. It's the same template I use to build all my stuff, so... And by all my stuff, I mean that one time I made a character sheet that was huge. Ah, sweet. Probably feels great to just chill for a little while, huh? Aha! So you can officially join the Axie Stack. Even though you're already part of the Axie Stack just because you get here, but now you can be part of the Discord group. Also, Mage, I'm working on getting to your thing. I just, I want to do one thing at a time, or else I'm gonna be all over the place. Trying to get through this pile of commissions quick. Can we please grab the, 24? Thanks. This tablet has a mind of its own. Don't worry about it. If you look under the video, the picture with the stack of axolotls, if you click that, that is a perma invite, so you can just click on that, and it adds you to our Discord. Or at least it should be. If it's not a perma link anymore, we gotta fix that, but it should be a perma invite. I don't know why I included this rock here, but I felt like we needed to have it, so... Is he not colored in? Oh, he not colored in because I am on eraser. Yeah, so somehow I burned enough oil in my, you know, shitty old man car to require 1.5 quarts of oil. So, that happened. Okay. Cool. Color's feeling pretty good so far. I'm digging it. I think I might try to move into some shading, and then we'll come back to color if I need to do anything else, but it's looking pretty alright so far. I'm alright with it. Alright, let's do... Actually, you know what? Here, this is What do you mean? Does it make stuff look weird? Trust. Trust in the axolotl. I am not ruining your picture. Have a plan. There is a plan in motion. And that is far too dark. That's okay. We're just gonna get the shadows in, basic shadows, and we'll come back in a minute. Gotta squiggle in even if it's real dark. Plus all the shadows on the trees are gonna be really faded out, so... Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, in that case, if the Discord link's not working because stop sign's on mobile, can somebody grab the invite link and send it to him? Because that's pretty lame. Alright, tail. Fix the butt. Okay, now let's do some adjusting. Thank you. Yep, that should do it. Can do that too. Here, maybe not. Right. Do we want blue? Purple? Maybe purple? I'm kind of digging the purple. I think the purple makes the most sense. Maybe. I sort of like this cool blue. Tip this tip my tablet up a little bit. I can't quite see. A weird glare coming from above me. Lamp never gave me trouble before, but now it's like directly in my line of vision. Alright, so I'm kind of digging the blue, maybe? What up, Nugget? You're just wilding all over the place here. You're like Wario. Wow. Get it? Joke. I made a joke. Because I do that sometimes. And then you cheat. And you put it on all the layers. Stay where it is. Well, let's do the characters first. They're more fun. Alright, let's do it. These shadows in here. Can't decide if this is going to be the longest part or the shortest part. don't think anything's gonna be longer than the line art, but...
Please, thank you.
Yeah, so how I work is I usually put a base layer underneath the line art so that I can work without color in the way, and then I can put the color back on when I want to take a look at it. But it helps me, I wanted that graphic. I think we're gonna do that a little bit, yeah. So, I don't know if any of you guys watch superhero movies, but I saw on Tumblr today that supposedly Infinity War is coming out the 4th of May. Supposedly. It's this hilarious video with the guy who plays Spider-Man in the new movie, opening a package from Mark Ruffalo, and it's supposedly confidential, so he's like not supposed to open it on a live feed, but he does it anyway. And I think it's a publicity stunt. Like, I don't think he would have done that on purpose. Like, I don't think the PR would have let him do that, but it was pretty funny. But they mention that they always like it. He mentions that the release date is the 4th, so that's interesting. I guess the trailer for it drops tomorrow though, so. That's interesting too. It depends on the subject. Stop sign. It's some stuff's really easy to draw. Like those little axolotls I made for on the layout, it took me maybe an hour. Like I spent part of my lunch doing them just so that I would not have to worry about it anymore. Like now if anybody wants to do bits or they want to donate or they want to sub, now there's like definitely 100% a graphic for that. So, you know, I'm prepared for anything, even though I don't ask for that kind of stuff. You know, if it happens, then I'm ready for it. But, like, so those were easy and they didn't take me very long, but, like, this has taken me, obviously, several hours because I've been working at about 2 hours at a time for, you know, weeks now. Part of the reason this is taking so long is because I've only been working on it a couple hours a day. Still. If I had, like, hours every day to sit down and work on this, this would have been done a long time ago. I'm a lot faster than this usually, but I have to keep starting from scratch, so... The trailer drops tomorrow. They actually had a trailer for the trailer. I think they've intentionally not been giving us news about Infinity War just so that they could hype us up with a trailer. Because now everybody's like, what's the next one gonna be? Everybody is ready for Infinity War. It's not like any of the other movies where, you know, you're wondering if this one's gonna be any good. Like, they've kind of been building up to this for years. Everybody knows Infinity War's coming. Thor Ragnarok was so good. I still keep thinking about how good that movie was. Like, I want to see it again so bad. Illustration. I don't know. It might have been. I don't have a way to look back at the previous song that was played. But it very well could have been. Oh, I thought you had it right the first time. I don't know. So Nugget, did you come up with anything to draw today, or did you just take it easy for the afternoon? Gotcha. I wasn't sure if you were planning to take it easy or... Hey, fair enough. Let's that layer down a little bit. Doesn't need to have quite so much color on it if I'm not going to, the whole layer. Hey, that's what the Discord's for. Everybody to chat and share their art and Bioshock? Bioshock. Unfortunately, the Axie stack does not have beverages. Considering that we are, you know, a virtual community. If we were not a virtual community, we could go out for drinks and tasty confections, but alas, we are not. I think this one has played on the stream before. Yes, only internet cookies, unfortunately. Still trying to figure out if we could possibly do some kind of a movie night thing, but... Number one, I have no idea where I would work that into the schedule. It's called Elizabeth, so I don't, maybe it's the main... Is it the main character's theme? I don't know who Elizabeth is. I've never played Bioshock, so... The music is lovely, but I've never actually played it, so... Is it just her theme? Like, is it something that just plays whenever she's around, or... I'm kind of taking a stab in the dark there with that comment. Like, I know there's a way to do movie nights where, like, you know, everybody syncs up or whatever, but... Or, like, websites that'll auto-sync all your things, but, like, I want to be able to have movie night for people who don't have things like Netflix. You know, so I could just stream Netflix. But I guess that's against Netflix's rules, so maybe I can't do that. Yeah, there you go. Ms. Ma can just have all our drinks for us. Especially since I don't know how many of you can't drink, so... Yeah, she'll just have them all. Probably get severe alcohol poisoning in the process. It'll be fine. There's a streamer named Vinny who does movie nights sometimes, and I've never actually been to one of his movie night streams because he doesn't schedule them, but, you know, he does it, and I'm not sure how. So maybe that would be something worth looking into, is seeing how he does it, and maybe we'd be able to make something out of it. You gotta be like a pro or something, right? Pro drinker? Iron gut. Can drink all the things. Be careful though, because eventually you're gonna end up being known as the Axie Stack's official alcoholic. You know, we have the official DJ now. You know, we don't want to. I don't know if you necessarily want to become the official alcoholic. You would have to do thimble-sized shots to make up for all of us, because there are now 12 of us. And that's assuming you do shots for yourself. Yo, so this lighting situation got way more intense than I anticipated it being in the first place. I think mostly because I wasn't thinking about it when I was designing this piece. I was just like, oh, it's funny because he fell down, but here I am. Figuring out how to lighting, and this was not what I expected. But dramatic lighting is much easier than not dramatic lighting, so dramatic lighting it is. I am also a small bean, so I've not attempted to drink to my limit before. I just basically drink until I get uncomfortable and warm, and then I stop. Because if there is one thing I do not like to be, it is uncomfortable. Hence why I do not like winter. Because winter is just one long, constant uncomfortableness. I too am a small bean. Different ethnicity bean, but still a small bean. Ah, stop sign now. Now you're getting. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe that's the story behind the piece. Maybe. That's what Dire Crow didn't want to tell us about. Dire Crow didn't want us to judge Mr. Crow, but actually what it is that the Crow is an alcoholic and could not finish his job because he was drunk. No, that's not why. He's just clumsy. Clumsy Bumble. Small. Now, see, if you want a definition of a small bean, go back in the Discord chat and find the picture I uploaded of my clownfish sitting in a sponge. That is a small bean. That is maybe the smallest bean. Yeah, he's gotta hit his life alert. Come on, Mr. Crow, you gotta hit the life alert. I don't have that picture on my computer actually to show it to you, but yeah, no, he's the smallest bean. Yeah, Dire Crow, I know you said you were just lurking, so you don't have to respond, but, you know, I think maybe Fenwick needs to get some life alert. Or some flex tape. Maybe both. Maybe life alert flex taped to him. That way he'll never lose it, even in the toughest conditions. Such details. Very work. Yeah, I don't know. He's in the Discord somewhere. I don't know. His name is Cosmo and he's great. He's a cute small bean. And his girlfriend Wanda is a very angry tall bean. Like, if Cosmo is the small bean, then Wanda is the tall bean. I talk about them a lot, though, because they're cute. Love them. Dire's lurking. I think they're up to something tonight, so just hanging out, listening. Dire's around. I know they're around. Just I don't think that they're paying attention to chat. Maybe they are. Actually, Cosmo and Wanda are on my Tumblr somewhere. Coincidentally, I drew pictures of them. Alright. Folder. Put them there. There they are. My small bean and his big asshole. Because in real life, this clownfish is a dick. And she's great. So there you go. The small bean and the tall bean. I am aware of how that sounded, by the way. Yeah, they're in there somewhere. So, anyways, I could share fish tank stories all day. I have so many good fish tank stories. Saltwater fish are surprisingly interesting. They have a lot of personality, which you never expect out of a fish, but there's a lot to them. I don't know what stop sign wanted from you, but I was gonna tell you that, I think you need to get Fenwick some life alert. I think he needs life alert. Yeah, it's a little shadow remnant. Sometimes that happens because I shade so clumsily at the beginning. Yeah, no, good eye. Actually, if you guys, sometimes see stuff like that, and if I, like, scroll away from it and don't get it, let me know, because sometimes I miss little spots like that. That's part of the downside to, doing things the way I do. You kind of get clumsy. Did I ever tell you guys about the time that my shrimp got super glue on his hands? Because that's a pretty good story. Yes, I did tell you that, or yes, he should have life alert. I'm working my way up that way. Just, you know, like, say there was something funny right here, and I just went like this. Let me know, hey, that letter... Oh, yes, I did tell you, okay. It's actually the only good fish tank story I have. There's so much. Actually, yeah, Ms. Ma hasn't heard the story before. I'll tell the story for her. So basically, it's actually a really short story. But when you put things in a reef tank like coral, you have to glue them in, and you can just use like regular ass gel super glue to glue the coral down. So I had gone and gotten regular ass super glue at the store and was, you know, putting a coral in, and I was holding the coral down against the rock and it had all the glue under it and whatever. And once it had set enough that I could let go of the coral that had fallen down, you know, I let go. Within like 0.462 seconds of me letting go of that coral, like a fraction of a second, one of my red shrimp comes flying up to this coral and just plunges both pinchers into the glue. Just look right in the glue. And just without even... Music is slightly loud. It gets loud. Boop, boop, boop. There it is. Better. Yeah, so he just plunges both claws directly into the blob of super glue that is in the process of setting. I didn't have a chance to react. I didn't have a chance to grab him or stop him. He just plunged right in. And of course, you know, again, in like 0.46 seconds, in the fraction of a second it took for him to go, hey, I want to touch that. In the same amount of time, he went, oh shit, I don't think I should have done that. And this poor little shrimp is swimming all over the tank in a panic, rubbing his claws on everything, because he had super glue on his claws, and so he couldn't open them because they were glued shut. And I had to catch him, and I, like, grabbed one of his claws, like, where there was still, like, a trail of super glue, and kind of pulled on it to try to get it to let go. And I don't know that I was ever able, I can't remember if I actually got the glue off of his feet, but he definitely had one claw, glued shut for, like, 3 days. It was the funniest thing ever, though. Oh my god, he was so stupid. It just, like, I want to touch that. Nope, I should not have touched that. Just immediate panic. Oh, it was so funny. And then it's not a problem because they're kind of filter feeders anyway, so, like, they can pick stuff up and eat it, but they break the stuff into such small pieces that it doesn't hurt them too much if that kind of thing happens. So, like, he ended up molting a couple days later, and then his claws were free, but oh, it was so funny. Just the immediate panic. Like, you could just tell he suddenly regretted all of his life choices. In an animal that small, it was pretty incredible to see the sudden change in emotion. We went from, this looks interesting, to this is definitely not interesting in half a second. He was great. Still a little loud, it looks like. And that's my story about my dumb shrimp. That shrimp was great. She passed... I kept saying he. The shrimp was a girl. I don't think it's easy to tell, but she had eggs for a while, so she's been gone for a little while, but she was so fun. I think that was Rabbit. It was a little hard to tell them apart, but Rabbit was bigger than the other ones by quite a bit, so... Oh, that would make a great animation. If I could animate, or I had the patience to animate, I would totally do it. Shrimp was funny. Actually, the funniest animals in my fish tank are the shrimp. Yeah, I've had them do that before. that happens every now and then. Usually I catch them before they can touch the glue, and I'm really careful about it now, but every now and then they get the glue on their hands and I don't worry about it. But that's the first time I've ever seen one walk up and not even test it, you know? Like, now if I'm gluing something in, the shrimp will, like, walk up to it and kind of, like, stand around it for a minute and be like, I wonder if I can touch this. I wonder if this is interesting. Like, they kind of check it out before just sticking their feet in it, but I don't know what her thing was, but she just, bloop, right in. So funny. I have a 20-gallon fish tank in my living room. It's not that big. It's tiny. There's actually not much in it. It sounds like there's a lot in it, but I have, let's see, 3 shrimp now. I have 2 little red shrimp. I have 1 big yellow shrimp. And I have 2 clownfish. In the saltwater tank, there's also a bunch of, there's snails and, hermit crabs. There's 3 hermit crabs, I think, and, like, a handful of snails. The axolotl's in his own separate tank. He's in the kitchen. He's freshwater, so he doesn't go in the saltwater tank ever. He's pretty funny. I'm still trying to get a video for you guys of him, like, delay eating, because it's so funny when he just, like, it's such a delayed reaction. He's just like, what? Oh, there was food. And then he, like, bites at the air like there was food. But I can't, he hasn't done it lately, so I haven't been able to get a video for you guys. Small zoo. I'm working on it. And then I have my cat, and that's it. My dad had lots more animals than I ever did. My dad had hermit crabs and fiddler crabs and ants, and he had, like, a whole ant farm. It was super cool, but there was, like, way more of a menagerie of animals at my dad's house. I feel like we maybe talked about this before, but does anybody else have any other interesting pets? I know a couple of you guys have dogs. I know some of it, but share your funny pets. I'm trying to think of any other funny pets. Oh, here, let me bring up a picture of the thing I'm about to talk about. So, in my fish tank, I have one of these things. They're like little pill bugs, but they've got this little fuzzy thing around them. They're really slow, and you hardly ever see them move. He looks more like this, actually. And, one night, I was sitting in my bedroom. At my dad's house, I had the fish tank in the bedroom with me. So, in the middle of the night, it was like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 o'clock. I was, sitting there working on something on my computer, and all of a sudden the fish tank behind me starts making this funny sound. And at the time I had, like, a hang-on back filter with a little, like, spinny wheel in it. And the little funny spinny wheel's going, and I'm like, what is that sound? I've never heard the filter make that noise. So of course I get up and go check the filter, and who has climbed into the filter but the little fuzzy chitin? He has decided that he is going to hang out right underneath the spinny blade. And of course he's a snail, so it doesn't hurt him. He's just smacking him in the back of the head. And he stayed there for like 2 hours. And the thing about chitins is that they are like one huge muscle. So if they want to stay somewhere, they are going to stay there. They will not get up. And so he didn't, and he stayed there all night. I had to turn the filter off for the night because he was just sitting there making the filter go just the whole night. I don't know why he wanted to be in there, but that was where he wanted to be, so that's where he went. Actually, the chitin was the only mobile animal that did not ride in the main container with the other animals when I moved out here. Instead, Mr. Chitin rode in the box with the rocks because I couldn't get him to let go of the rock to go in the bucket with everybody else, so he just stayed on the rock. And of course, by riding in the rock box, I mean that I literally put like all 4 of my rocks into a styrofoam container and just put them in the back of my car. Snails are stupid, and because they're so cute. He has several times climbed out of the top of the container and has sat on the lid of the tank, and I just have to leave him there because what are you gonna do? They probably do only have like 2 brain cells. They're funny. What other good dumb animal stories do I have? What else have they done that's stupid? I have here's a fun story about me. I have successfully performed 2 shrimp surgeries. In case you want to have that fun fact, I should just put like a, you know, fun facts about artsyaxolotl in the area under the video. You know, fun fact, has performed shrimp surgery. See you later, stop sign. Yes, 2 whole shrimp surgeries. So, cleaner shrimp, and I think peppermint shrimp, can have a parasite under their shell. And the parasite grabs onto... It doesn't hurt them at first. It can grab onto their gills and kind of becomes almost like an extra organ. Like, they kind of... They don't necessarily just... They don't just suck the blood out of the animal. It's almost like the blood passes through them then. And it's not really dangerous to the shrimp as a hitchhiker, but if the shrimp goes to molt, having that parasite in the way can make it complicated, and so it's easy for them to get attacked by predators. And one of my red peppermint shrimp had that parasite on him, and I didn't notice it at first. Like, when I wouldn't have brought him home if I had known that he had that. So he had this little lump on his shell, and so I went online, I looked up what it was, and I was reading that, you know, you can get rid of it, you can take it out. So I scooped the shrimp out of the tank, and I put him in a little plastic cup, and I very carefully, with the flat end of a sewing needle, like the part that you thread the thread through, very gently lifted up the bottom of his shell and just scraped the little guy out, the little parasite out. It just pops right off. It's this gross little, almost booger-looking thing that's under their shell. He did not appreciate that. That shrimp was not very good about it. He squirmed all over the place, and I kind of had to hold him down to do it. He did not appreciate that in the slightest. So then, you know, he sat in the clean water container for a little while just to recover from having me poking around at him, and then I put him back in the tank, and he lived. He was fine. The hardest part of removing them is the first time they molt again, having that big bubble on their shell, because their shell's hard, so if the shell forms around the parasite, and then you take the parasite out, the shell stays where it is. The shell still has the dome where the parasite hung out. So it's hard for them to molt the first time after they do it, but after you remove it. But he lived. He, you know, molted just fine, no problem. And then a couple weeks before I moved out here, I was at friends. There was somebody I met out in Pennsylvania who ran a fish store, and I bought a lot of stuff from him, and we became friends through me shopping and learning from him. And I noticed he had a cleaner shrimp in his tank for sale that was that had the little parasite on her. She had the little bump on her side. She was really tiny, little tiny thing, and I pointed it out to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't notice that." And he said, "You know, if you can remove it, take it." So I took the shrimp home. I took the shrimp home with me, and that one went way better than the first one. That shrimp was so docile. She was the sweetest little shrimp. She was really calm. She just let me hold her, like, in the palm of my hand. I didn't have to, like, hold her down or anything. And it took me, because she was so tiny, it took me a little while to get under the shell correctly, but, I got it out, and, like, it was funny because I think she got scared I was gonna drop her or something, because you have to lift them totally out of the water to do it, and she, or at least because she was so small I had to, she actually was holding on to my hand while I was doing it. Like, she was gripped onto the palm of my hand the whole time, which was cute. But, it was funny because you could see the personality change immediately. Like, she was sitting there and you could see her little gills flapping because she was breathing really hard. Because she was scared, obviously, because, you know, this big, huge tan hand is now holding her. And, you know, obviously you'd be scared if this ginormous creature was suddenly holding you and poking you with a silver stick, you know? And, she just, you know, she just hung out and was really calm, other than the fact that she was breathing really hard. And I put her back in the tank, and the personality change was immediate. She was suddenly so much more lively and so much more animated, and she would come up and touch your hands. Not as readily as the first cleaner shrimp I had. Like, he was much more friendly up front than she was, but, you know, she just came up and hung out. So, yeah, I should set up a business. Shrimp surgeon. Artsyaxolotl MD. I know it's not the same thing, but... yeah, so that's the very long-winded story about how one time I removed a parasite from a shrimp, and then another time that I removed a similar parasite from a different shrimp. That's about the extent of my fun fish tank stories. Nothing else too exciting has happened in recent memory. Mostly my fun fish tank stories involve me talking about how Wanda bit me that one time. She's a dick. Okay, so they're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Another half hour. We'll see how much more of this I can get done. I guess I will not be finishing this tonight, which is unfortunate. But try our best. Deciding where to start next. There's so much to do still. Actually, the background might not take that long. Oh, that one's only a tree. Okay, well, that should make this part quick, because... Hey, Nugget, maybe that's what you should do for your, to draw a character. Maybe you should try to draw Waffle as a Jahordi. You know, make a Jahordi that looks like Waffle. With, like, spikes and stuff. I don't actually know how that would work, but you should try it. Like, I'm probably gonna try to make a, Noldaru that looks like Shay at some point. I mean, since they're not, like, exactly lizards, it might not translate, like, one-to-one, but it still might be kind of cool to try to envision that. I don't know. I don't know if that had to do with anything, actually. I was thinking about your guys' pets and trying to formulate a topic off your guys' pets. I feel like I'm leaned in really close to the microphone here. I'm getting kind of up close and personal here a little bit. I hope I'm not making you guys uncomfortable by being this close to the microphone. I'm gonna order a windshield for this microphone so that I can do that. I can get all up close and personal and do a little ASMR. I know that's exactly what you guys want out of your artsyaxolotl streams. That's really what you're here for. You're here for the axolotl ASMR. Yeah, that's true. That's true, because that you gotta plan and think and design. Yeah, dude, I know. I get you. I know that feeling. I have done like 400,000, probably close to 400. I have done like 400 storyboards in the last couple weeks. Non-stop storyboarding, so yeah. Alright, Ms. Moss, see you later. Glad you could stop by for a little bit. Maybe I'll catch you tomorrow for a little bit. Yeah, sure thing. I don't have too many stories tonight, but glad you enjoyed what I had. Yeah, maybe a character from a video game. You've been playing Hat in Time lately, haven't you? Oh no, you've been playing Zelda. Maybe you should do something from Zelda. I'm trying to think, like maybe you could do if there's I don't know if there's one of the races that you like better than the other ones, but whoop, excited there. Scrolled off the screen a little bit. I don't know if that's something that floats your boat. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Friends having a contest. That's a good reason to try to draw something. I'd love to see either thing. Anything you want to do. I love when you guys make art and put it in the... Yeah, the Rito are cool. I don't know why I thought this was the kind of thing I should be doing on stream, because, taking a very long time. Hope you're all enjoying watching my madness. Slowly lose my mind. Ah, backgrounds. The love-hate relationship is real, backgrounds. Because it always comes out so cool, but... goddamn. They take a long time. I'm used to drawing things that don't take very long, and so when people ask me to do backgrounds, I get scared. But I know I gotta not, like, you know... Yeah, I know I have to challenge myself. You know, I can't keep drawing stuff that's easy, so I don't. Because if I just drew stuff that was easy, nothing would ever get done. Also just realized I never shaded the, parcels. You paid for it. I'm doing it. It's not a complaint. I'm just saying. They always take so long, but they come out so good. Like I said, the love and hate. It's a love and hate. Did you? I already forgot about that, I guess. I go over the top. I want you guys to get your money's worth. If you're gonna pay some random nonsense individual like myself to draw you artwork, then gosh darn it, you're gonna get every penny. Every single one. Hi, cat. What's going on? I see you've stood up and you're coming over this way. And you're trying to figure out how to get over the laptop to me? Yep. Okay. You're not allowed to lay on the keyboard. Come here, sweet pea. Well, now I'm stuck. Hang on. I have been claimed by a cat. I background okay. I just make it look like I know what I'm doing. See, that's the trick. That's the thing that you gotta know. That, I don't have any idea what I'm doing. I just do my best. That's the best you can do. Try. And sometimes you look back at your choices and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have gone so wild with the background. This wasn't really what I was anticipating at all. I thought the lighting was going to be much simpler than this. And yet here you are, and you have made this decision, and your life has come to this point, and this is where you are. So then you have to finish it because this is the decision you made. That happens frequently in my day-to-day life. Just, oh, alright, well, we're here now. And that's okay. You know, I'm alright with that. Adds some excitement to your life. Now, what would be the fun if every commission I took had a simple background? Right? Exactly. I should probably actually zoom in at some point and make sure that I'm not, like, coloring too much outside the lines, because as I'm sitting over here babbling to myself about my life and trying to make it sound like I'm not unhappy with this background decision, because I'm not unhappy, but it makes it sound like I'm complaining. And as I'm continually trying to talk until it sounds like I'm not complaining, I realize that I'm not actually painting inside the lines, and I should probably start doing that. Give me a second, I'm gonna take my headset off. Just a second, I gotta take my sweatshirt off. It's hot in here. I had my sweatshirt on because I had just had I had the milkshake, or not the milkshake, the icy from, icy, oh my god, slushy. The slushy from, Sonic. And so I was cold, but now that I'm sitting in here and it's 75 degrees in my house, I probably don't need to have a sweatshirt on, so. So here's the actual truth about how I do backgrounds. I am very bad at backgrounds that are full scenery. Like, if I can't put a character in the background somewhere, I get very uncomfortable with my backgrounds. That makes sense? Like, I pictured something totally different from, like, for example, Marinette's commission. Despite the fact that that came out way differently than I think either of us anticipated, but I really didn't want to draw just the city with 2 characters standing in front of it. Like, I needed like a whole scene with a story and everything, because it was just too hard for me to do anything without having a plan. You know, I'm not good at backgrounds by themselves, if that makes sense. I need people in the background also. Yeah, I got about 15 more minutes until I gotta go to bed, so I'm gonna try to at least get the shadows down, and then we can finish this up next time. You too, Foogly. Have a good night. Rest well. Yes, they are. What I'm gonna do, actually, I'll show you what I'm gonna do, too, is I'm gonna take a gradient, and I'm gonna go. So it's not quite so dark. I need to be able to see the shadows while I'm working on them. Why, are you not feeling something, or are you just curious? Same thing with these guys. I'm gonna put a gradient on them. Do that now real quick. Yeah, I had a plan to kind of fade out some of these shadows. My shadows always start out super dark, and then I correct as I go by adding gradients, because I always plan ahead for the gradients. Yeah. You can have a shadowless version too if you want. The other thing is I was going to adjust the shadows highlights a little bit too, like knock them down a couple cents, because they're a little dark right now, I will admit that. Plus 275 on them. And then these shadows. So yeah. Well, I'm kind of done with the shadows on them and the trees, so I can do all the gradients and stuff to them right now. It doesn't, since this is such a soft piece, I don't have to be too careful with it. I think if it were a little harder light, I would be different, but I'm gonna go in and put some highlights here and here too. But this one I'm gonna work on at full opacity just for a little bit longer, just so I can see what I'm doing, and then we'll turn them back down a little bit. But yes, I did have a plan. Don't worry. I had a plan. Just takes me a little while to get there. Yeah, cause I use so many adjustment layers when I work, because I find it easier than trying to pick a color for every shadow. Because I work with so many adjustment layers, I have to plan ahead for certain things. So, like, for example, if I'm drawing a character who's, for example, your crow. If I'm drawing a character who's black, I will always select a very mid-tone, either blue or just straight up gray, if it's just a straight up gray character. But I'll always select a mid-tone, like a true mid-tone, because I know that color has to get darker at some point. And usually shadow will do that, so I pick a mid-tone to start out with, and work down. because it's easier to make the color darker with a multiply layer. Overlay layers are fun, but they tend to do some weird shit to the colors, so I tend not to... I have to be careful with them. Highlights I use specifically for, like, hard edge highlights. I don't do too... trying to think, like, the word for it. No. I'm babbling at this point, but... So I kind of start with the mid-tone first and darken instead of working from, like... Hard to explain. It's just tricky. That's what I'm getting at. I got you. I think I'm just gonna put a shadow over the background. That'll do with that. Doesn't need much. I was playing a bunch of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp today. Within 2 days, I caught up to my sister, so that happened. It's super fun. I kind of feel like that's how Animal Crossing was always meant to be, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of feel like, now that I've played Pocket Camp, it kind of feels like Animal Crossing was supposed to be a mobile game, and they just never had the technology to do it. But now they can. I don't know, it just kind of, it fits. I think it's a really cool addition to the series. I'm glad it's coming out the way you like it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Slap a gradient back here. Knock the opacity on this bad boy down a little bit. Yeah, a little more. Nugget knew. Nugget's got this. Dire Crow's the DJ, but Nugget's the identifier. Actually, no, it doesn't have to go into the verbs. It does have to go into the verbs. Hang on. I had a plan. I had a plan, and then I lost it, and then I regained it. Oh, hold up. Plan for this one, too. not feeling that as much now that I put it in there, but we're gonna... Just gonna leave it. Never mind. Forget I did that. And we go ahead and we motion blur. That way. That way. There. And we set that overlay. Not that yet. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to have more shadows from the trees in the back coming in, but it wasn't working. So, take it out. Right. Kinda feeling that a little bit. Looking pretty good. Let me go ahead and color up the line art, actually, and let's see if that helps any. This is something called End of the World from something in Japanese. Got a guy in a blue coat with brown hair and a girl with blonde hair and a red dress in a painting. I don't know what it is. Never seen it before. Yeah, from that. This one. It wasn't that I couldn't pronounce it, it's that the title doesn't actually have the name in it, so it's like the acronym for whatever that is. So I actually had no way of reading it. I feel like maybe I should color or shade this plant from here. That would probably be good. Those are for cats, though. I'm surprised that Nintendo never actually did that with Pokemon. I'm surprised they never made a water cat based on that word. And that seems like something Nintendo would do. guess Vaporeon a little bit. I can never decide whether the Eon Pokemon ever... I couldn't decide whether they looked more like cats or dogs, or both. Or neither. You know, I could never decide. Wow, that grass looks like shit. Hang on, I'm gonna fix that. It's nice to work big and far away, but also you have to sometimes zoom in because things look like shit when you get up close. That's the offending layer. Not to start another war, but I always thought they looked more like cats, but... I always found them to be more cat-like, but... People got mad at me when I thought that Entei, Raikou, and Suicune were cats too, so... I'm probably just wrong. Danganronpa? Recognize the art for that one. I've not played it, I've not watched anybody play it, but I recognize the art. By the way, Entei, Raikou, and Suicune are definitely cats. I'm gonna put that out there. They're definitely cats. They will fight you, because they're definitely cats. Suicune... Alright, maybe I'll let you have that one, but... Come on, Raikou? Not a Thunderdog. I thought perhaps Entei could be a mix, you know, at first I was like, oh, it could be Entei. Entei could be a dog, I guess. And he has some, like, you know, Mastiff kind of qualities to him, but... I started just calling them beasts, because they're definitely not dogs. See, the thing is in Pokemon Go, and I think in the regular games too, although I have not seen an Entei recently, but when Entei lunges forward to attack, his claws come out. Dogs always have their claws out. They are gerbils. That's what they are, actually. No, that's even better. That's a better response. Alright. Not that much. Just a little bit. This might have come up before, honestly. What time is it? 10:05? I'm pretty much done with this. Let me do the highlights on these guys real quick, because I think they need a little something, but I think I'm pretty much finished. Can you think of anything, Direcrow, anything that stands out to you that you're not really feeling? Or, you know, whatever, anything you want me to change? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I say as I zoom in fully on the piece, and so you can't see the whole thing. I probably could. Here, let's do it. Quick sketch in black. Remember what their eyes look like. Also, I just realized this is 72 DPI, which is probably fine. I don't remember what their noses look like either. They have those kind of eyes. They got feathers. Oh, they got ear fins. Remember how many pieces their fins have, though? I have a feeling that's not correct. Maybe it's pretty darn close? It kind of looks like it's close. Maybe. I don't know what I mixed up though. I think their neck's wrong and I think the ears are wrong. And you better just tell me, because whatever it is, I can fix it. Probably. Nothing is too late to fix. Unless you tell me that you hate the position and I need to start over, in which case then it's too late. Oh yeah, one is a little bit longer than the other one. Oh, too late. Right, you're right. Too late. I could probably fix that pretty easily, but it doesn't bother you that much. I'm gonna have to look up your Johorty now and see what I did wrong, because I was pretty close, and as soon as you said they have 4 things on their ears and whatever, then I was like, oh yeah, they do, don't they? I think all I'd have to do is slide this foot back a little bit, and then it would shorten it, but I could do that. Too long. I just wouldn't be able to do it tonight, probably. Fenwick does need a hug. Or life alert. Or some flex tape. They are. Now we'll just minimize that opacity also so it's not quite so intense. Now please. Keyboard broken, is that what happened? Oh, tab lock. One more thing I do want to do is I would like to try. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to look, but I'm going to try. This one. 10. Do this one. 5. Pushes them back a little bit. I was just gonna say, is Life Alert really only in Cali? Yeah, it's like a necklace thing. You like wear it, and if you fall down, you can click the little button on the necklace, and it'll call 911 for you or something. And I think Fenwick might need that right now. Well, there you are. There, Crow. I think I'm gonna call it done. Nope. Wait. Yeah. Not yet. Hang on. Man, I forgot something. This one? Shade the leaves. Doesn't need a lot, but just helps. Okay, trust me. Well, there you are. Now I'm happy with it. Now I'm happy with it. Continues working on it. Yeah. I'm one of those people that I could just keep touching it forever though. Like I could keep adjusting line art and whatever. I think it came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm more concerned with whether or not you're happy with it, but... Oh. Oh, she keeps saying over and over and over again. Wait, I forgot something. Oh, wait, I forgot something. Oh, wait, I forgot. Yeah, here we go. We're doing it again. Wait, I forgot something. Gotta slap those textures on. Those signature artsyaxolotl textures. To be guy gets to be fourth. Put on overlay last because overlay always freaks out my computer. There it is. That's better. They should be. There's a big picture of an axolotl overlaid into the picture. Yes, finish. Don't you love your picture of Fenwick and what was the owl's name? Dorian. I just remembered it. Yeah, it's a great picture, right? Don't you love it? Now it's actually done. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream for the night. I'm gonna save out some different versions of this. I'm gonna save out a web version so that you can post it online if you're somebody who likes to post that kind of stuff online. And I'll save out the full-size print version in case you want to print it. So I'll send you both of those through email, and yeah, and then I'll post it up in my gallery. So that's it. Hey, we finished it tonight. I didn't think I was gonna finish it tonight, but we did. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get that done, and whatnot, and then get ready for bed. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Ori and the Blind Forest. That's next tomorrow. So gotta get that, and then on Thursday we'll see if we can get a big chunk of Ryarkra's done. So gotta push through these commissions. We're almost there. Almost got through them. Pride myself on going a little bit faster on commissions, but they've been taking some time. So with that, I'm gonna head off to bed. You guys have a good night, and see you guys later on. All right, bye.